Hi, my name's Kat, and this is a new segment called Kat's Words of Wisdom. It is, it's sort of a advice column slash um, words of encouragement type thing. Today's subject is one of the biggest subjects that I've had to deal with and think about through life. It's about patience and understanding, and that's a really broad one that could go in many directions. And so, one of the things that I find myself struggling with, or it's not so much a struggle, but it's part of who we are, is, for one thing, me, along with a bunch of other people that go through this, we're more sensitive than everybody else. And that can go in many directions. Now, not a lot of people understand this. Hopefully, one day you will, if you're open enough to. One thing is that we express our feelings, process information, and think a certain way. Which means, also, for those who hang around with us, you gotta be really careful on the way you treat people like us, the things you say. For example, one thing is that when somebody says or does something, really hurtful, it tends to stick for a while. It's hard to get rid of that thought right away. It's not so easy for us to move on. I'm not saying that's a flaw. It's not. It's just part of who we are. And so, not a lot of people understand what we go through or why we go through this. Which means that when we bring up something from the past that still hurts us, still bothering us really badly, they tend to get really impatient or pissed off about it. Even though when we're really looking for that emotional support, looking for someone who's actually willing to listen to us, hear us out, talk to us, make us feel better. That's one thing that always makes me feel better, is that I can't let this go in that right way until I actually spend some time getting it off my chest, talking about it, or somebody's actually there listening to me when I need to. I could understand if some of you just can't find yourself doing that. It doesn't make you a bad person, but it'll just make us feel better if you were able to put some time into us when we feel we need it. Think of it this way. Let's say you're someone who, feels that opposite way. Because there are people who can relate to this. I know a few. And there's the other end. Let's say you're on the other end. And you have a loved one or somebody you care about. When you tend to get, verbally aggressive about something that they can't help, or about when they feel the need to talk to you about something really deep, that verbally aggressiveness, or this act of impatience, where does that really take us? What does that really do? The only thing it will do is tear the other person up even more than it is. Is that what you really want? Especially if you love this person. Do you really are you really trying to put them through you know, something worse than they're already feeling. I know it's hard. I know that while we go through this, some people might have that tendency to go a little crazy, but then think to yourself. You have someone you truly love and put everything into right in front of you. You can see that they're going through something. Maybe not on the outside, but deep within, they probably are. And when you feel like you're just about to go nuts pretty much over something that isn't worth going into, think to yourself, try to put yourself in their shoes for a second. Try to think about what is it that's causing them to feel this way or do what they're doing and why they are. And then after that, you do care about this person very much. I mean, then also think about what can you do to make them feel better? What can you do to help this person? I'm going to tell you, screaming at them is not going to help. Because think of the whole reason of why they're coming to you in the first place. They trust you. And they want to tell you everything. They want to share everything with you, no matter how personal, how ridiculous it gets. It's done because they feel the need to. So in that case, you gotta be careful enough to show that you can be that trusted person that they think you are. Because that's what you want, though, deep down, don't you? Because if you do or say something that's going to make them shut down or pull back, basically you haven't solved anything. You just made the situation worse than it really is. Now, I won't give any names or any specific information for protection purposes, but I think deep down you may pretty much have the idea. Another thing is, not everybody is good with words. Not everybody is good at putting their thoughts together right away. And I knew somebody who would kind of make you rush at it, try to rush you to speak something or pull your words out or however. Well, you see, the more you do that, then, this person is going to feel like they can't talk to you. Because all of it really is that these people like us are looking for someone who's willing to listen. But doing that, it feels like you're trying to show that you don't want to listen to us or that you don't give a damn. But deep down, we know that's not what you're really saying and that's not what you really feel. But sometimes we do things that send out a wrong message, and that's where sometimes miscommunication comes in. And so, that's why you gotta treat the person and the situation itself like something delicate. I mean, think of it this way. If you cook a meal and you want it to come out good or well, you're not going to rush the process. You can't do that. Because if you do, you're going to ruin everything. And also, if you're handling something delicate like computer parts or a flower, you can't be so hard on it. Otherwise, you damage that. Well, if you can compare these concepts, then a person's feelings is much, much more delicate than those physical things. You have to keep that in mind. Just because you may not feel that way, or you don't see yourself like that, a lot of people are. And feelings are nothing to play with. And, I mean, that's sort of it for this, for now, that's sort of it for this subject alone. I'm pretty sure there are so many other scenarios and similar concepts to it. So, I guess the bottom line, I'm not even sure what the bottom line is, if there is one. So, so that's pretty much what's on my mind. I hope that for those who can relate, maybe they'll feel better knowing that you're not alone. And for those who actually tuned in to pick up a thing or two from it, that it changed you a little bit, and that you actually did pick up something from it. And so, so that's pretty much all there is to the thought. If you actually tuned in, hold on a second. If you actually tuned in, I thank you for that. This was very important to me that you check this out. And so, thank you for your support. And so, to recap what we were talking about today, just be more mindful of what people feel and why they do. And that not everyone handles things or feels the same way as you do. And especially if it's somebody you care about, you want to try to respect that, or try to work with it. Because the whole point is, ones who really trust you, you want to keep it that way. You don't want them to feel like they can't trust you. You don't want to do anything or say anything to make them, forever afraid to talk to you. That wouldn't be right. Because if you actually do that, it feels like you're doing it on purpose. And you don't want to do that. And so, no. So that's pretty much it. I'd like to thank you all for joining and listening to these words. And so, until next time, take care. I'll see you later. Thank you.